So this topic is a little, I didn't see, but I'm sure you covered it. The Iranian president,
Yes.
you know,
He
let's,
was probably assassinated. I
yeah,
see plenty of people claiming otherwise. Well, they put him in an old Huey helicopter under adverse conditions. Okay, yeah, all right. I totally believe that.
yeah. I mean, the crazy thing about, so what I wanted to talk about with, because like okay, he's dead, right? There's not anything interesting to talk about there anymore.
You got
But
to archive that link to get rid of that enjoy unlimited access nonsense.
oh yeah, that's right.
Run it through archive.today.
You know what's weird is I have a problem with Archive and Brave sometimes. It like freaks out.
Huh.
Washington Post too. All these places are dying. Anyway, we'll just go here. So the helicopter goes down. What was it? Sunday?
Yeah, it was the other day.
And we're basically getting we got confirmation earlier today, although basically everyone already knew. The question is, who was it? They that did it? Styx? Or was it America?
I have no clue, because the number of people that benefit by his death is so vast.
It's innumerable.
Could be the Israelis, technically a false flag by Hamas or even Hezbollah, Iranian dissidents, the Iranian top brass, the Turks, the Armenians, the Azerbaijanis. Who in the region didn't want him dead?
Yeah, literally every woman in Iran.
Yeah,
I think
someone planted a charge or fired a rocket, I think, and they might cover it up in the end, but I don't think this was a freak crash.
Yeah, I don't either. I also think that having like your leader travel by crappy helicopter does seem suspicious.
50s vintage.
Yeah, right. Like maybe he had a thirst for like World War II era aircraft or Vietnam era aircraft, but
that Korean War era, man, oh, those were the times. Get me up in there, boy.
Yeah, they don't build them like that anymore, and there's a reason for it. So I was talking to a military family member of mine who's not really terminally online, and I was like, "Oh, the Iranian president crashed or is dead." He's like, "Really good." Like, this guy's been hated for like a really long time.
That was the official reaction by Israel in hours afterwards. Once they confirmed he was dead, they're like, "Oh, the butcher's dead." Haha.
Yeah, well, our president in Potato in Chief, didn't he send out a heartfelt?
I don't know if the U.S. sent condolences. I know the Pakistanis and a few other countries did.
I think there was something on Twitter going around where it was like, President Biden finally issued a statement on Lake and Riley. Oops, just kidding. It's on the butcher. So I'm thinking that they did. Yeah, I mean, to me,
people can check the POTUS page. It's probable he would do that. He would make that mistake.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people, including myself until more recently, really understand, as you so quickly mentioned, just how many people benefit from this dude. I mean, it is, I think, equally likely that Israel did it as Iranians did it, like his own people.
Yeah, there are plenty of liberal dissident movements and Western aligned movements within Iran, and they were relatively close to the border with both Turkey, Armenia, and Azerbaijan at the time. So it's like, pretty much anyone could have staged an incursion. We're probably not going to get any answers.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, who knows if there was, he was fleeing in the chopper. I saw.
Yeah, that's the other thing. There could have been palace intrigue, and people aren't going to know about that. Like the Iranian government's going to let on.
Yeah, they definitely wouldn't. Who maybe it was a successful coup, unlike the one in the Congo.
That's a good point from Easter Sunday. Could have been worse. He could have been unvaxxed.
Yeah, that's true. I think obviously America benefits from it because it was almost like, okay, we already dealing with Palestine, Israel. We don't need a third bad actor. Like when he sent those slow moving drones or whatever, the hot air balloons.
Both.
Yeah. America was probably like, all right, like it's just so
someone
weird.
Should have warned the Iranians that the Japanese tried that in World War II and it didn't work out so well.
It did not, and that's
the fire balloon.
Yeah, yeah.
plan.
Not
Most people
very
don't
good.
even know most people don't even know that that happened. It's fascinating, actually.
Yeah, I
It's a good
watched a
idea
whole
on paper.
yeah, yeah, as as are many, such things. The, yeah, I think so obviously it sounds like we're both in agreement that this was almost certainly not an accident.
Yeah. No, this is just like Benazir Bhutto. That wasn't a random assassination.
Right, yeah, I mean, this is like, Iran has I mean, I guess we'll know more about maybe who was behind it by who is installed afterwards,
Yeah.
what their government looks like afterwards, like, oh, if we suddenly have a United States friendly, like they did in
Yeah, I don't think you're
Ukraine.
going to get that. If anything, it's more likely, in my opinion, that the hardliners took him down. Maybe in private, he was expressing sentiment like, hey, this Israel Palestine thing, we have to take a hands off approach. We can't endanger our country. And the hardliners killed him. That's the other possibility. It's not necessarily the liberal dissidents that would naturally dislike him. If in private he told the military brass stand down and they didn't want to stand down, boy, oh boy, that would make sense too.
Yeah, many such cases. I mean, the military
Yeah.
generally yeah, I mean, you're right. They could have just said, "Nah, dude, this is what we want to do. You're no longer the leader. We'll give you a 30-minute head start in that jalopy over there. See how
Yeah.
far you make it."
They say, hey, fly to Turkey, you're going into exile, but then they kill him before he gets there or something like that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. We're gonna
The
spare your
worst the worst thing is knowing that normally there's like a smart money bet, like there's a highly probable chance that a specific group or a specific individual is behind something. With this though, there are so many groups and individuals that would want this outcome that it's impossible to even fathom that.
yeah.
There's
It's
no
like
prediction to be given.
if you're the United States, it's like a free kill. We've
Yeah.
punched our punch card. We got 10 leaders killed. This guy's a free kill because he hadn't directly threatened the United States, but he is causing some irritation. Get rid of him.
And then
Israel,
if the hardliners got any hint that he was going to swing from the Eastern Bloc generally towards a more like a Turkish style, like a fence riding stance, that would also be an impetus. And the Armenians hate him.
so you have that, you have the Armenians, and by the way, in a Huey, it's literally like one
Yeah.
dude in an RPG. You don't. That's all you need. Take down a chopper. I mean,
Yeah,
you
this
don't
is
need
not an
laser guided
Apache.
stuff. Right, right. It doesn't have modern tech. It doesn't have radar jammers. It doesn't have flares to deploy, probably to get off heat-seeking missiles.
And that's the other tell. Unless he's just nostalgic for the 1950s or something like that, why did they put him on that particular helicopter? Iran may not be a fully developed nation, but they do have a modern military.
That's also
They could have easily put him on a much more advanced aircraft and or seen, hey, there's a shit ton of fog over there. It's probably not great to try to land on the side of this mountain.
Yeah, I mean, also there's always the also the there is some percentage that it was just a wreck. It's unlikely.
Yeah, it's just under 50%.
Yeah, well, see now the pictures we've seen from the crash site, it looked like just you know, a down chopper. Like it didn't look like it had
Yeah, but
been.
imagine you fire something through the rotors and it just comes down. I mean, there's not
Yeah,
going to be a shit ton of extra damage. It looks like it just fell out of the sky.
yeah, or you
We
put a
lost
charge back
communication
there.
with them. I can't understand. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, it seemed odd that you would have so many high-ranking people on the same jalopy
Mhm.
too. Like
Yeah, a couple of Azerbaijani officials actually too, diplomats.
yeah, so you had, a lot of eggs in one shitty basket and you flew into the soup and you crashed. So,
That's why I think that if I leaned towards any guilty party, it would be the Armenians, actually, because they would have known that the Azerbaijani officials were partnering more closely with Iran, and it was very close to Armenia. All you need is one infiltrator.
yeah, and there's
I
also they
lean
could have
towards
got
that
lucky.
explanation.
You could have just got lucky, right?
Yeah.
Some towlie in the mountains sees a, helicopter, fires an RPG at it, takes it out of the sky. I mean, who knows? I think that I think it'll be interesting to see. I think this is just going to go away because there's just too many
Yeah.
attack vectors. Like unless
they're if they determine who it was, they probably won't tell us, and if they do tell us, it might be a lie. So,
well,
I'm just thinking normally it's communists that go down in helicopter wrecks, but
well, they're usually thrown from it. But yeah, this is a tough one because, like, let's say it was Netanyahu, that'd be very different. Now people, the Jews people, yeah, say that I actually don't even put Israel as like a top 2 or 3 contender for this. They didn't need to do that.
I would have him in the top 3, but I still think the most likely, ironically enough, is some Armenian terrorist.
Some Armenian or CIA.
Or possibly or someone from Azerbaijan, maybe resistance against the Eastern Bloc that bullseyes the aircraft because they think if they partner more closely with the Iranians, then their expeditionary attacks on Armenia may continue. I'd put them at the top. But name a nation that's remotely included in that region, either in the region or has interest in the region, that wouldn't have a reason for this. That laundry list is like 15 nations long.
Somebody in chat says the Iranian president doesn't even matter when they have a supreme leader who can override him or the courts.
It matters, though, in the civic sense, because they do have a facade of liberalism in their country. It's a very weak one, but it does exist. They try to maintain order. And so if they just randomly kill their own president and say, yeah, we killed him, he wasn't doing his job or something, that would cause rioting. And Iran really doesn't want that right now. They've already had enough problems recently.
Yeah, presumably people did vote for him. So, I mean, there would be, so he has his supporters. Yeah, there's a small percentage. I would put a single-digit percentage Kobe Bryant type scenario. High double-digit, it is from within the house, whether it is a dissident that got close, there was something that happened at the palace. Like, you raised that point. Some shit could have went down at the palace and they were like, here you go, you're out. Getting that thing over there. And then, like you said, they're just like, oh,
yeah, court intrigue would be another one, or just some random attack. And if it's the latter, you're never going to hear about it because it would be embarrassing to the Iranian regime. They wouldn't want people to say, oh, some rando with a rocket launcher sitting out there in the foggy steppe managed to bring down the president's helicopter. That wouldn't go over well.
Well, there are so many that do believe it could be a Bravlovsky space laser too, but I think that like
Jewish space lasers.
Yeah, I think
the ones that turn the frogs gay.
Yeah, same. It's just a different setting. Yeah, I think this one just goes away. Iran goes into having to deal with its own mess, and it kind of stays out of this.
We'll get an update in like 10 years telling us maybe what really happened if we're lucky. And by then, everyone will have forgotten about it.
Well, and
he was only the 8th actual elected president of Iran.
You could make the argument, though, that if it really was a crash, then there should be some communications. People.
Inexplicably, they lost communications, which means they either went down hard and fast or something else happened.